On last time, we have discussed about the transportation problem, initial basic feasible solution using different methods. Today, I am going to how we find the optimum solution to the transportation problem, and especially by Modi method, which is also called as modified distribution method. So again, what is the transportation problem? It is sometimes same goods is required to transport from different sources to different destinations in such a manner that total cost of transportation is minimum under the condition that goods can be transported from one source to more than one destination, as well as destinations can receive the goods from different sources. There are several methods from which we can obtain the solution to the transportation problem, which is basically done in two steps. One is by opt one is for obtaining the initial basic feasible solution using northwest corner rule or least cost method or Vogel's approximation method, and then to obtain optimum solution by using any of the initial basic feasible solution. The methods used for obtaining the optimum solutions are modified distribution method, which is also called as Modi method, and second one is stepping stone method. So before going to the methods to the for the optimum solution, we have to know one thing about the transportation problem, which is called as loop in the transportation table. So what is the loop? Loop is an ordered set or sequence of at least four different cells that satisfy the following conditions. First condition is that any two consecutive cells lie in either same row or same column.
ये अमन करके आया है.
So first condition is that any two consecutive cells lie in either same row or same column. And second condition, no three or more consecutive cells lie in same row or same column. That means in same row or same column, only two consecutive cells must occur in the loop. For example, cell 1 2, cell 1 4, cell 3 4, and cell 3 2 constructs a loop in transportation problem. Here you can see cell 1 comma 2 and 1 comma 4 are in same row, 1 comma 4 and 3 comma 4 are in same column, again 3 comma 4 and 3 comma 2 are in same row, and 3 comma 2 and 1 comma 2 is again in the same column. So last cell is represented as 3 comma 2, but loop will be formed when from 3 comma 2 we move to 1 comma 2. In same manner, 1 comma 3, 1 5, 4 comma 5, 4 comma 2, 2 comma 2 and 2 comma 3 also forms loop. Whereas 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4, 1 comma 5, 4 comma 5, 4 comma 2 and 2 comma 2 does not form any loop, as there are three cells 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4 and 1 comma 5 are in same row. So there should not be more than two rows in the same row or same column. So here three cells are in same row, therefore it is not a loop. And while constructing the loop, we have to kept into the mind that we can move only row wise or column wise. That while constructing the loop, only row wise or column wise movement is allowed. Diagonal movement is not allowed. Since diagonal movement is not allowed, loop must have even number of corners only. It doesn't have odd number of corners. For discussing the Modi method, we will use following examples in which a optimum solution obtained by some method is given as x13 is equals to 50, x14 is equals to 20, x21 is 55, x31 is 30, x32 is 35, and x34 is 25. And following table is the cost matrix. That is, transportation costs are mentioned in the exam, in the transportation problem. Example is considered from the book of operations research written by P.K. Gupta, Manmohan and Kanti Swarup. So following are the steps which are discussed with the example also. For the Modi method, which is also called as UV method or modified distribution method. First step is obtain initial basic feasible solution using any method. So in our example, initial basic feasible solution is already mentioned. Second step is check the feasibility of the solution, that is whether the number of allocated cell is m plus n minus 1, that where m is number of rows, n is number of columns. So the occupied cells or allocated cells must be less than m, must be equal to m plus n minus 1. If occupied cells are less than m plus n minus 1, then we allocate a very positive small quantity epsilon to an unoccupied or unallocated cell in such a manner that no loop is formed by the allocated cells. And for allocate, then after this step we can solve the equations ui plus vj is equals to cij by taking one or more of the ui or vj as 0 as per requirement to solve the equation. How it is continued I will discuss with the example. The initial basic feasible solution considered in the example can be written in the form of this table. In example, we have taken x13 was 50, x14 was 20, x21 was 55, x31 was 30, x32 was 35, and x34 was 25. So first step, that initial basic feasible solution is obtained. In second step, we check whether there are m plus n minus 1 allocations or not. So there are 3 rows and 4 columns, that is 3 plus 4 7 minus 1, which becomes 6, and we count the allocations 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So we have 6 occupied or allocated cells, which is equals to m plus n minus 1. So there is no need to change. Now we solve the equations ui plus vj is equals to cij. So here you can see I have add one column more which is for ui and one row which is for vj. So corresponding to source A, I have taken U1, for source B I have taken U2, and for source C I have taken U3. Similarly for destinations, I have taken V1 for destination 1, V2 for destination 2, V3 for destination 3, and V4 for destination 4. Now how equations are framed? So for framing the equations, our equations was ui plus vj is equals to ci for allocated cells. So if we move row wise, our first allocated cell is this one, that is a comma 3. So we can write the equation as u1 plus v3 equals to 9. Cij is cost of transportation, which is 9. So we can write u1 plus v3 is equals to 9. Similarly, second equation can be written as u1 plus v4 is equals to 3. Third equation can be written as u2 plus v1 equals to 11. We have considering only allocated cells. Unallocated cells will not be considered. Then next equation will become u3 plus v1 is equals to 10. u3 plus v2 is equals to 12. u3 plus v3 is equals to 4. Sorry, u3 plus v4 is equals to 7. It was allocated cell, unallocated cell I have considered by mistake. Here it will be u3 plus v4 is equals to 7. So we have framed 6 equations in 7 variables. u1, u2, u3, 3, v1, v2, v3 and v4, 4. 3 plus 4, that is 7 variables and 6 equations. So we have to put at least one variable equals to 0. So we try to put that value equals to 0 which occurs maximum number of times. Using this, the solution, obtaining the solution of equation become much more easier. So we can check that u3 occur maximum number of times, that is 3 times. So I have put u3 is equals to 0 here, and putting u3 equals to 0 in equation 4, equation 5 and equation 6, it is obtained that v1 equals to 10 from equation 4, v2 is equals to 12 from equation 5 and v4 equals to 7 from equation 6. Now we put these values in equation 2 and 3. That means in equation 2, v4 occurs, v4, the value of v4 is 7. So u1 will become 3 minus 7, which will become minus 4. And v4 in and v1 in equation 3, the value of v1 is 10 and u2 plus v1 is equals to 11. So u2 will become 11 minus v1, that is 11 minus 10, that will give value of u2 is equals to 1. Now we put the value of u1 in equation 1, that is u1 plus v3 is equals to 9, and v3 will become 9 minus u1, that means 9 minus minus 4, that will become 9 plus 4, which will give us 13, that is v1 is equals to 30. So we can mention these values in the table and such kind of table is obtained. For A1, the value of UI will be minus 4. For B, value of UI will be 1. For C, value of UI will be 0. We have taken U3 is equals to 0. Similarly, for destination 1, V1 will be 10. For destination 2, that is V2 is equals to 12, V3 is equals to 13 and V4 is equals to 7. Now next step is compute the net evaluation Zij minus Cij, that is Ui plus Vj minus Cij for unallocated cells only. Here we ignore the allocated cells. If all net evaluations comes out to be non-positive, then our solution will be obtained as optimum. Otherwise, we find maximum net evaluation and corresponding cell will set to be entered to the basis. For example, for allocated cell 1 comma 1, the ui is minus 4 and vj is equals to 10. Here you can see ui u for cell a comma 1 or 1, you can say 1 comma 1 is corresponding to 8, ui is minus 4, v1 is equals to 10 and cij is equals to 6. So ui plus vj minus cij, that means 10 minus 4 minus 6, that will give 0. So here we would obtain as Z11 minus C11 is equals to minus 4 plus 10 minus 6, which will result into the 0. Similarly, we can calculate net evaluations for other cells also. So here you can see that all the net evaluations are positive. So the net evaluations are positive. Our solution is not optimum, and maximum net evaluation among these is 12. So corresponding to this 12, the cell 2 comma 3 will enter to the basis. These net evaluations can be represented in the transportation table in the braces. Here for first cell we have calculated 0. So here I have mentioned 0. For second, net evaluation was 7. Similarly, other net evaluations are mentioned corresponding to unallocated cells. Here for cell 2 comma 3 it is by mistake unwritten. For 2 comma 3 it is, sorry, for 2 comma 4 it is unwritten, it is 0. So here we have write 0 in the braces. Maximum net evaluation is 12. So corresponding cell 2 comma 3 will enter to the basis. Now next step is construct a loop in such a manner that entering cell occur at one corner of the loop and other cells other allocate corners at other corners allocated cells occur. How it is constructed I will discuss later. Assign a positive quantity at the corner point, positive quantity theta at the corner points with plus and minus signs alternatively starting from entering cell. Then compute the value of theta. The value of theta will be minimum allocated quantity at the corner of the loop where theta occurs with minus sign. That is, we consider the corners where we have written minus theta. Their quantity allocated quantities will be considered and minimum of that is computed and that minimum value will be equals to theta. Then we add this quantity theta to the allocations where theta occurs with plus sign and subtract from the allocations where theta occur with minus sign. The cell for which allocation becomes 0 will leave the basis. If you remember the linear programming problem, one variable enter to the basis and other variable remove to the basis. In same manner, one cell entered, then one cell will be removed from the basis. That is, one allocation will become positive and other allocation will become 0. The processing done in such manner that total rim requirement is always fulfilled. Then next step is repeat the process till all net evaluations become non-positive. So it was our calculation of net evaluation ui plus vj minus cij. Now maximum was 12. So by taking this cell, we construct a loop. So I move clockwise from this unallocated cell to next allocated cell. That means here you can see next allocated cell is this one. That is 3 comma 2, then 1, sorry, 2 comma 3, then 1 comma 3. Then we move to next allocated cell from this allocated cell, which is 1 comma 4. Then from this unallocated to next, from this allocated to next allocated, which is 3 comma 4. From this we again move horizontally to other allocated cell. Here we obtained two allocated cells, 3 comma 1 and 3 comma 2. If we move horizontally to 3 comma 2, then we obtain no allocation vertically. So we ignore this cell, not consider this cell in the loop. We move to 3 comma 1. That is here. Then from this 3 comma 1 to next allocated cell, which is 2 comma 1. Then again to given unallocated cell, the loop is constructed. That is this loop. Now on the corner of the loop, we allocate quantity plus theta and minus theta starting from this cell, that is entering cell. So here plus theta, then next corner minus theta, then on next corner plus theta, on next corner minus theta, then again on next corner plus theta, then again on next corner minus theta. So in such manner, we write plus theta and minus theta. Now we have to compute the value of theta. So minus theta occurs here, that is quantity is 50. Here where quantity is minus 25 and here the quantity is minus 55. So for value of theta, we have minimum of these three quantities, that is minimum of 50, 25 and 55. So the value of theta is obtained as 25. Now this value is added and subtracted according to plus and minus theta to the allocations. That means Starting from here plus theta occurs, allocation is 0, 0 plus 25 will become 25. Then to next cell, 50 minus theta occurs, so we subtract, that is 50 minus 25, it will also become 25. Then to next cell we add 25, it will become 45. Then to next cell subtract, it will become 0. Then next cell add 25, it will become 55, and next cell we subtract 25, it will become 30. That means the allocation of this cell, that is 3 comma 4, will become 0. So it will set to leave the basis, and new basic feasible solution is obtained in such a manner.
No, sir.
Okay. Then again we calculate ui vj and then net evaluations in same manner. So here I have calculated ui and vj. There is a simpler process as compared to previous one. By making equation, by taking any one of ui and vj, we can take 0. Here I have taken u1 equals to 0. Now here u1 is 0 and allocated cell have Cij equals to 9. So in 0, what we have add, it will become 9, that is 9. So value of V1 is 9. Then again for this allocated cell, we add 0 to 3, 3 to 0, it will become 3. That is ui plus vj equals to 3. If we add 3 to 0, that means it will 9, it will 3. Then from this here we can say 2 minus 9, that is minus 7. Then 11 minus minus 7, that will become 18. Then 18 minus, sorry, 10 minus 18, it will give minus 8. Then 12 minus minus 8, it will give 20. So in simpler way, by using only this table, we can calculate ui plus bj is equals to cij. Then again calculate net evaluations. So some of the net evaluations are negative and some are positive. Among positive, maximum is 19. So cell A comma 2 will enter to the basis. Now using this, we have construct another loop. The loop is obtained in such a manner, that is this loop is obtained. Allocate, unallocated, then allocated, then allocated, then allocated, then allocated, then again return to the unallocated cell. Then we assign quantity theta minus theta plus theta minus theta alternatively. Then calculate the value of theta. Minus theta occurs at 25, 35 and 30. So minimum of theta is 25 again. So we add and subtract 25 according to plus theta and minus theta to the quantities. And next in basic feasible solution is obtained as such. That means the allocation of this cell becomes 0. That means cell 1 comma 3, that, sorry, this cell was 25 and it will become 0. So cell 1 comma 3 leaves the basis. Then again we calculate ui and vj by solving ui plus vj is equals to cij. Then calculate net evaluations. Then maximum net evaluation is 8, that is for this cell. Then construct the loop in going same manner. And repeating the process again and again, we would obtain this solution. And when we check these solutions, all the net evaluations become non-positive. That means either 0 or negative. Therefore, we can say that this solution is optimum. Now the optimum solution can be represented as we have represented the initial basic feasible solution. That is from source A to destination 230 units are transported. Cost of transportation will become number of unit transported and cost of transportation, that is 30 into 1, which is 30. Similarly, from A to 4, 40 units are transported. From B to 2, 5 units are transported. and total cost of transportation is obtained as 1160, which can be called as optimum or minimum transportation cost, as we have obtained the optimum solution to the given problem. It is the end of today's lecture.